Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something really foundational, this radical idea that your life, your path, self-realization, even spiritual mastery, it all seems to come down to one thing.
Right. The strength and maybe the sharpness of your belief.
Exactly. And that's pulled directly from our main source today, this text called Sharpening the Axe of Your Belief.
Yeah, it's a really interesting piece because it doesn't just stick to one path. It weaves together these ancient traditions, referencing the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood,
Okay.
but also pulling insights straight from major texts like the Koran, the Talmud, and the Bible. It's trying to find a common thread.
So our mission here is kind of extracting that combined wisdom, and it starts right off with this powerful metaphor. Belief is the foundation, sure, but you can't just have it.
No, it needs work. It has to be sharpened like an axe. That's the core image.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. If life is, say, the forest we're navigating, why belief is the axe, and what makes it sharp or dull?
Well, the Grandmaster WaXhira, who's cited a lot in this material, puts it plainly. The strength of your belief is like the sharpness of an axe. A sharp axe, a strong belief, lets you cut through, well, two main things.
Sure.
Self-doubt, number one. And then all those illusions that hold you back, as the text says, things we perceive as barriers.
And if it's dull?
Then you're just hacking away, right?
Yeah.
Wasting energy on obstacles that don't really budge. Mastery isn't about force. It's about having this finely honed internal tool. Precision.
So it all starts with tuning that inner world, which brings us straight to this principle of inner transformation. The idea is everywhere. As you believe, so you become.
A classic formulation.
But here's the tricky part, isn't it? Lots of people want success. They might even say they believe they deserve it, but it doesn't happen. So how do these texts distinguish real belief from, just wishful thinking?
That's a crucial distinction. Is why the sources often talk about the heart or the self. Think about Proverbs. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
In his heart, not just in his head.
Exactly. It's not surface thoughts. It's that deep down conviction, the real blueprint of who you think you are. If you intellectually want wealth, but deep down in your heart, you believe you're fundamentally unlucky or unworthy.
That deeper belief wins out. It's the sharper edge, even if it's cutting the wrong way.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It manifests that limitation. It's like having a dull axe for chopping down the success tree no matter how hard you swing externally.
Wow, okay. That really reframes effort versus internal state.
It does. And the instruction for how to change this is remarkably consistent too. Look at the Quran, Surah Al-Imran. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves.
Okay, that's direct. Change isn't about waiting for the external world to shift. The winning lottery ticket, the promotion, that stuff follows the internal shift. You have to revise the belief system first. The outside just reflects the inside.
That's the teaching. And this is maybe where those different sources complement each other. The traditional scriptures often give what change yourself, and perhaps these Atlantean teachings offer more of the how, the specific disciplines.
Right. But this is where it gets really interesting for me, thinking about control. If our core beliefs are within our control, what about everything else? How much is just fate or destiny or divine will? Where's that line?
Ah, yes. The boundary. This source material seems very focused on helping you find that line. And this is where a specific Talmudic teaching comes in, offering real context.
Which one?
It says, everything is in the hands of heaven except for the fear of heaven.
Okay, fear of heaven. That sounds pretty intense, maybe a little scary to modern ears. Can we break that down in this context?
Absolutely. And the text clarifies, it's not about being terrified. It's more about reverence, about alignment. Think of it like recognizing a sacred responsibility.
Yeah.
The external stuff. The things that happen to us, maybe the big global events, the things we call luck or fate, those are in the hands of heaven.
Right.
Beyond our direct control.
Right.
But the fear of heaven, that's about our reverence for divine order, our commitment to spiritual truth, aligning our own will with higher principles like wisdom, love. That part is our choice. That's the internal state we can control.
So the external circumstances, like the weather, maybe a market downturn, that's heaven's domain.
Yeah.
But our response, how we meet those events, the beliefs we hold while navigating them, that's the fear of heaven, our bit.
That's your sphere of influence. Your free will, essentially. It's your conscious choice to keep that axe sharp even when the force looks overwhelming. Your belief system is what determines if you meet those external forces with despair or with aligned, intentional co-creation.
That's the sharp edge the material wants you to grasp.
Yes, that distinction is critical.
It really is. That line between acceptance and action. Huge insight. Okay, so let's scale this up. If belief shapes who we are individually, the next section suggests it's also fundamental to creation itself.
Exactly. We're shifting perspective now from just personal identity to the, uh, the mechanics of creation on a larger scale. Think about Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
The ultimate act of creation.
And the source interprets this not just as a story, but as a method. How did God create? Through divine belief, effectively speaking, existence into being. The belief, the word, came before the manifestation.
And the implication for us
Is that humans aren't just puppets in this creation. We're also co-creators in our own sphere. Our focused thoughts are deeply held beliefs. They are, in a way, the words we speak to the universe.
So the power of our belief mirrors, on a smaller scale, that divine creative power.
That's the idea. And the sharpness, the clarity of that belief, dictates how effectively we speak our reality into being. Muddy belief, muddy results. Sharp belief, focused creation.
But hang on, isn't there a risk of just delusion here? Like, if I believe really, really hard that I can fly by flapping my arms, I'm still gonna fall, right? Where's the reality check in these teachings?
Good point.
Yeah.
And that's where the concept of alignment becomes absolutely essential. The source material leans heavily on a saying from the Gospel of Thomas here,
Which one is that?
saying 106. When you make the two one, and when you make the inside like the outside and the outside like the inside, then will you enter the kingdom.
Making the two one, inside like the outside. That sounds like integration.
It's exactly that. The sources would argue that delusion happens when your inside belief is totally disconnected from the actual process needed for manifestation in the outside world. Flying by flapping arms ignores physical law.
Right. Okay.
True. Sharp belief isn't just wishing. It's an integrated conviction. It includes understanding the necessary steps, the disciplines, the underlying spiritual truths like love, wisdom, maybe patience. When your inner conviction aligns with the reality you seek and you're ready to take the aligned actions, that's the harmony. That's entering the kingdom, so to speak.
And then the sharpness of the axe helps you achieve that integration, see the whole picture.
It allows you to cut through the fantasy and align with the integrated reality. It lets you see the process, not just the desired outcome.
Okay, that makes sense. Which brings us squarely to the practical side. How do you listening actually do this? How do you keep that axe sharp day to day? We get the principle belief is reality, but what are the maintenance steps?
Right, and this is where the text gets very specific, drawing on that methodology attributed to the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood. It moves from philosophy to, well, disciplined practice. There are 5 main things interconnected that need regular attention.
Okay, what's number 1?
First, and maybe foundational, is meditation. But not just for chilling out. It's framed as a belief clarification tool.
How so?
You focus the mind, yes, but specifically to clarify what you truly believe and desire, and crucially, to identify and start dissolving those limiting beliefs. The ones often planted by society, upbringing, past failures.
So you're clearing the mental workspace before you even try to build anything new.
Exactly. Sweeping the floor. Which naturally leads to the second practice, affirmations.
Right. Stating what you want to believe.
Yes, but how you state it matters. Once the mind is clear, you speak these desired beliefs into existence. Not just mechanically reciting them, but with real conviction, real faith. You're using words consciously, mirroring that divine act of creation we talked about.
Okay, so clear the space, state the intent with feeling. What's third?
Visualization. This gives the belief form in the mind. You need to clearly, vividly, and repeatedly see the desired reality in your mind's eye.
Like running a mental movie.
Sort of, but it's more about holding the feeling in the image as if it's already unfolding. You hold the belief that it is manifesting. That consistency sharpens the edge.
Meditation, affirmation, visualization. Got it. Number 4.
The fourth is maybe the most distinctive element from this blended teaching. Sacred rituals. This is about engaging more than just the mind.
Oh.
It involves specific practices described as meditative catechisms and spiritual rituals from the Brotherhood tradition. Think of structured practices that aren't just thoughts, but actions designed to align your whole being, body, energy, mind, with higher truths. Love, wisdom, abundance, whatever the focus is.
Ah, so it's like embedding the belief on multiple levels, not just mental.
Precisely. It amplifies the belief, turning it into a more potent creative force. It's about making that insight like the outside connection tangible through disciplined practice.
So if meditation clarifies, affirmation states, visualization forms, the ritual kind of energizes and grounds it, like the sharpening stone itself.
That's a great way to put it. It's the consistent maintenance. And that connects to the fifth and final practice, self-reflection.
The check-in.
Exactly, the mandatory audit. You have to regularly, honestly examine your beliefs. Ask yourself, are these beliefs really serving my highest truth? Are they aligned with the principles I say I follow?
And if not?
Then you consciously work to reframe them, realign them. You don't just let dull or unhelpful beliefs linger. It requires awareness.
So it sounds like the path to mastery isn't some hidden secret, but it demands real, consistent work. Dedication, discipline, awareness. Keeping that axe sharp takes effort.
That's the core message, is the ongoing maintenance that separates, perhaps, the dabblers from those who truly transform their lives through belief.
Okay, so pulling it all together then.
To synthesize this whole deep dive for you, the fundamental takeaway is that your beliefs aren't just related to your reality. In a very real sense, they are your reality. And committing to that disciplined act of sharpening them, well, that aligns you with the very mechanics of creation.
You shift from being just a piece on the board to
recognizing yourself as a co-creator with the divine, operating within the laws of the universe.
And that integration, that sense of co-creation, brings us right back to that fascinating tension from the Talmud we talked about. Everything is in the hands of heaven, except for the fear of heaven.
Yes, that essential boundary.
So maybe the ultimate level of mastery here isn't just sharpening the axe, but learning exactly where your ability to wield it meets the larger forces at play. Knowing where heavenly influence ends and your own power of belief truly begins.
That boundary is likely dynamic, shifting with circumstances and your own growth. It requires that constant self-reflection we mentioned.
So how do you recognize that line? The line between gracefully accepting what is versus intentionally co-creating what you believe should be, based on higher truth. That tension between surrender and focused action, that feels like the edge you need to explore for yourself.
That's the ongoing work. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.